Hey guys, it's Hannah553. Welcome back to another Beyblade X unboxing. Today we're going to be checking out the next of the starter packs from Wave 6 of Hasbro, that being Antler Stag. So first off, have a look at the packaging. Standard CX packaging, CX pink banner, with a nice open window showing the blade disassembled, Antler Stag B 260HN. And then on the back of the box, just goes over the bay in question. So of course we have the Antler Stag blade, which is made of the Stag lock chip, the Antler primary blade, and the bumper auxiliary blade. The ratchet is 260, and the bit is high needle. So let's get into this. So yeah, finally got my hands on the other two. I did also get box brush as well, but I'm not going to be doing a video on that as I just did a video of its random booster not too long ago. So if you want to check out Fox Brush, check out that video, but we're only going to be focusing on this and then Fourth Hornet in the next video. So, alright, I'll get the parts laid out on the table. Okay, so here is Antler Stag out of the packaging. Now, Antler Stag here, for the most part, is a remold of Cerberus Flame, which is pretty interesting as of this recording, Cerberus Flame is yet to be released by Hasbro. So it's actually pretty cool to actually get the Flame Blade in a way before it fully comes out by Hasbro. So first off, we'll have a look at the gear chip, or the lock chip. Now I'll say the artwork itself, I think looks really, really cool, but the colors are not fantastic. Like for a stag, in particular, if this was like any other kind of creature that actually shared this coloration, I think it would work pretty well. But definitely not for a stag or a deer or whatever. I would have preferred more like maybe greeny or browny colors. But I mean, it still looks alright. But still not my favorite color-wise, but I think the colors, the artwork looks pretty cool though. Next up we have the Antler primary blade. So this is obviously the main part that has been remolded for this release. So if I bring in the flame blade, so you can see, now as you can see, metal wise they share the same contact points. The metal has not been remolded. What has been changed though is the plastic contact, and I will say this will probably have a little bit more of an effect on its performance, as with the flame blade the plastic is more circular, so it matches up really well with the circular profile of the blade. With Antler though, these do protrude out a little bit more, a tiny bit, so much so that this will maybe affect its the stabilization. So it might actually have a little bit of a kick when it makes contact, but it could be enough to destabilize itself as well. It's still really cool looking blade. Again, I do kind of wish they maybe had a little bit more color to it. Maybe just have another color to go along with this like purple. But still, I think it looks pretty cool. And it's still, again, really cool to get this blade before Cerberus Flame. Next up we have Bumper, again done in that purple. Great CX auxiliary blade here. Bumper is really great for defensive builds. It's really good. There's the QR code you can scan into the Hasbro app when they get added to the app. As of this recording, the Wave 6 stuff is not in the app yet, at least on the Hasbro app. So if you are going to be scanning these into the app, you're going to have to wait till the update comes out. But still, great part to have here with Bumper. Next up we have the 260 ratchet. So nothing too crazy here. It's, well, the 260 ratchet. Not the best ratchet. This ratchet tends to work against the blade using it. But I will say it's actually nice to get 260 in a starter pack though. So if you guys didn't want to get Cobalt Dragoon for whatever reason, you can actually get it with this release. And plus it's in a new color, which is pretty cool. Finally, for the bit, we have High Needle. Nothing too crazy to talk about here. It's High Needle. The needle bits don't tend to get used that much, with the exception of Thunder Needle, but I will say, again, nice to get this part. And again, I think this is the first release of it in a starter pack. So, definitely can't complain about that. So with all these combination of parts, Antler Stag is a defense type. I will point out Cerberus Flame is marketed as a stamina type. So, you are switching up the types here, but I will say still looks pretty cool overall. Alright, let's get some weights in for Antler Stag. So the high needle bit, this weighs... Whoop. Nah, stop dropping it. High needle weighs 2.1 grams. The 260 ratchet, this weighs 6.15 grams. The bumper assist blade, this weighs 5.24 grams. And the lock chip, this weighs 1.74 grams. That's about the average for a CX lock chip. Now let's weigh up the antler blade. So the antler blade, this weighs 29.17 grams. And the flame blade, this weighs 28.51 grams. So again, similar to Regal Kraken, Antler Stag's blade weighs a bit more by about half a gram. So now it's not a significant like weight increase if it was a bit more of a gram, but considering the contact points, this might affect its performance. But still, it is still nice to see that this is a bit heavier than the flame blade. So let's put the blade together. Do this, do that, and for this, I'm actually going to use the CX assembly tool. Oh, that lock, that doesn't really feel like a strong lock. That's interesting. Alright, so altogether, this blade weighs 36.15 grams. So that is not too bad. Now I'm just going to compare it with Cerberus Flame. Now granted, this might be heavier because of the wheel assist blade. Yeah, 37.26. So yeah, this one's a bit heavier, mainly because of the assist blade. But when it comes to the metal, this one's a bit heavier. So let's put the rest of the bay together. So 260, high needle. So here's the full combo. I mean, color-wise, it looks really, really cool. Just still not too sure if it's worthy of being a stag. So altogether, this weighs 44.36 grams. So pretty average weight for a CX bay with these parts. Still not too bad. So let's give this some test spins and some test battles. All right, now we're gonna do some test spins and some test battles with Antler Stag. I'm gonna be expecting some similar performance compared to Cerberus Flame, but let's find out. Now, since it's on high needle, it's definitely going to be a little bit taller, so it might not really help it. I mean, also the 260 ratchet doesn't really help it as well. Oh yeah, that's really top heavy. You can really see that. I missed this wobble. Alright. I'm gonna give it one more spin. But yeah, I will expect this blade to perform very similar to Cerberus Flame. So this CX blade should be pretty good for the most part. Granted, the extra plastic sticking out may affect its contact with other blades, but well, only one way to find out. switch up the combo with Antler Stag. So I'm going to keep it with the bumper auxiliary blade, but I swapped it to 960 taper. So we're going to see how it goes with a bit more of a balanced type combo. At Antler Stag. I'm pretty happy with this release overall, but I will say I do wish it could have been a little bit better. Now I will say it is pretty cool that we are getting the Flame primary blade in a way before this fully releases from Hasbro. We probably will be hopefully seeing this in the next wave, most likely. But I mean, I will say color-wise, I think it looks pretty cool, but not really suitable for a Stag. That's one thing I will say. I wish it could have been maybe a completely different animal that is more appropriate for these colors. But I can't really complain too much. Now, parts-wise, I mean, the parts are okay. I mean, bumper is probably the most useful part here, and same with the antler assist primary blade. Too many different names. But the other parts, I mean, not fantastic. I mean, 260. Not the best ratchet, but I will say it is nice to see this in a starter pack now. And High Needle, I mean, not too bad. I mean, we've already got this in another starter pack with Night Lance, so nothing too crazy there. So can I still recommend this this bay? I will say though, if you haven't got the prize Cerberus Flame, this is definitely something to consider. But I wouldn't say go out of your way to get this one. Unless you're a completionist like me that needs to have every single release. But I can recommend it for like the bumper assist blade and for the antler primary blade, but can't really recommend it for anything else. But I can still recommend picking it up if you do spot it for a decent price. So that's gonna do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Beyblade X videos in the future, and until then, I'll see you all in the next video.